That's massive. A massive carp. Thanks for choosing to watch the video. In this one, we're back on the river again, and this time we're fishing for the river carp. And I'm on a completely different section to where I did the barbel video a few weeks back. In fact, it's a brand new section to me that's downstream. And yeah, I've not fished it before at all. So I've done my usual method really, which was moving around, sort of stalking, sort of fishing, but looking more than fishing, you know, just trying to get a feel for the place, covering lots and lots of swims. And yeah, it's been quite good. My experience on the river here after the carp started off with a bit of a weird one. Unfortunately for this fella, he stood out like a sore thumb from the river. Probably put there from someone's pond or something like that. It's a warm day, so I'm going to slip him back. What a character. Ornamentals aren't really my thing. Would have looked nice in my pond, that, wouldn't it? But yeah, I had seen some decent carp along the stretch. Not many, but the ones that I had seen were definitely worth fishing for. Something I noticed straight away is the section had quite a lot of bream in it, some clonkers as well. So we were going to have to think about how we were going to avoid those. But I started to put in some regular visits and started to get some success. Not the carp I was hoping for. Not what we're after. That's probably the biggest one I've caught from the river, to be honest. Slipping back. There's some carp out there, so hopefully we'll get one of those. So back on the river. It's now 7 o'clock, so I've only been here like a couple of hours or so, but we have had a result. That's exactly what we're after. Feels like I could have had him then. This time. Oh, lunging at him a bit here. Come on, you little river beauty. There he comes, there he comes. Oh, yes. So, solid bag, haven't been out that long, was getting liners, thought there's a lot of bream in the swim, thought I was going to pick one of those up, but thankfully I've got this cracking little fella. Stunning, stunning, chunky little river common. So there you go, really chuffed with that. You know, chunky little common, full of character, absolutely typical of the river. I'm not sure if I'll get another one in this session. I've only got like about an hour left at the most. It's a very shallow sort of area, And I think when you hook a fish, yeah, it creates quite a lot of commotion, and yeah, I'm just not feeling that confident of another. So whilst the camera's running, I'll just quickly take you through the sort of rigs that I'm using. I'm using my Opportunist XTND 275 rod, so a fairly powerful rod, strong line, you know, as well. And I'm using this little rig, a tiny little rig like this. So you can see I've got a solid bag stem there, got 3-ounce lead, it's quite a heavy bit of lead. Nice short little rig that's made of 35-pound Avid braid, coated braid. So nice and strong, a little bit stripped off down by the hook. Curved shank, nice strong hook, little blowback rig, and a couple of little pellet O's on. Obviously, you've probably guessed it's a little rig that's going to go into a solid bag. Yeah, that's just got 2mm, 4mm, 6mm pellets, so a nice mix just so you can get it nice and compact. And yeah, it's just put out in the swim, and it's always done well for me on the river that at least you know your presentation's good. There's always a lot of debris in rivers, you know, little twigs and all sorts, you know, they're fairly unkept. And I think a solid bag just kind of gives you a really good chance of getting that presentation right. Looking forward to maybe doing a couple more sessions along this area. I've not fished it for carp until about a week or so ago, and yeah, it looks to be a cracking part of the river, and yeah, definitely going to put a few more sessions in. So it's early morning, it's just coming up for 5 o'clock, and I'm tired today. I'm not even joking. My rod's been in the water for 10 minutes and I've got a bream. There's actually some big bream on this spot that I've seen coming and going, much bigger than this, much bigger. I'm not going to mess about with it because it's not what I'm trying to catch. Get it back, get it on the spot, and hopefully we'll get that carp. Well, it's been a bit of a funny morning so far. It's just gone 7 o'clock. And yeah, all I've had is that bream. There's a lot of bream out there. I'm surprised I haven't had more pickups from them, to be honest. It is quite a big, cumbersome rig that's intended for carp, obviously. So, you know, had I had lighter tackle on, I'd have probably picked up more of them. But we're not here to catch them anyway. We're here to catch the carp. And yeah, it's not happened so far. So that is it. It's coming up for 8:30. I think that's the end of my short session. Time to get home, be with the folks. It's Saturday, so good to get home. The carp just didn't show up today. So yeah, here I am again. Early morning, solid bag, ready to go. It's barely even light, as you can see. Try and nab one again before work. So I'm hardly going to waste your time talking about this morning. I had one little occurrence, which I think was a bream. It's coming up for 8 o'clock. Time to go to work. Yep, back again. Just coming up for 5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I know I'm nuts, but there you go. It's too warm to stay in bed last night anyway. Didn't go below 20 degrees all night. I'm out in my shorts this early in the morning. So, good to get out. And hopefully we'll get one of these carp this morning. Fingers crossed. So I'm using plastics to try and avoid picking these up, but Still, I'm getting the odd one. I won't mess about with him, but look, a real barnacly old river bream. There's some pretty big ones down there, probably twice the size of this. So it's quite hard to avoid those. So it's coming up for about 6:15 now, and yeah, not an awful lot has happened. I did have that bream very, very quick. Obviously, I'm doing things to try and avoid them. So I'm starting to use plastic hook baits in my solid bags now, just to try and slow down the bream bites. Might start moving to boilies. Yeah, you know, double boilies if I need to. Because yeah, we don't really want to catch those. But while we were waiting, I thought I would just take you through this. You might have noticed in the solid bags, I use a little bit of powder in the bottom. And it doesn't really matter what that is. I just think it adds a little bit of extra attraction. But also what's really useful about it is that if you're wanting to reuse your rigs, you know, create another solid bag out of a rig that's already been in the water, it's actually quite handy for sort of dusting down your rig, drying it off before then you put it into another bag. I always carry a little bit of ground bait in a tub, put it in the bottom of the bag and use it for dusting off my rigs. Yeah, it doesn't really matter what you use. This is a bit of Power Scope X, I think, but yeah, whatever you want to use will do the trick. So I couldn't even bring myself to do an outro on that last session. It didn't go according to plan at all. But we're back again. You know, you can't catch them if the rods aren't in the water, as the old saying goes. So we're back here. Hopefully we'll have better luck this time. Something that I am doing that might be worth a mention is that I'm backleading. Don't know if you can see a backled there. The water's very clear, the water's very shallow. There's quite a few bream that are giving me liners, and just to prevent that, I'm wanting to pin the line down as much as possible. So yeah, it's not really happened. I've just got a feeling there's not as many fish in this section, not as many carp as maybe I initially thought there might be. I've not seen as many. Kind of what drives me to keep going is the few that I have seen have been decent size, so that's sort of keeping me here. But it's not being particularly prolific. I don't know. I'll keep going, definitely for at least a few more. You'll have noticed until now, been doing before work, so early mornings. This time, 7 o'clock in the evening. So I want to see, you know, what happens at dusk, and fingers crossed, we'll get that carp as the light goes down. Let's be the carp. Hold it up. Jesus Christ. That's massive. I don't know if this is going to come out because it's late. Just landed this from the river. What a chunk. Unbelievable. I don't know if it'll come out. I've not weighed it. Wanted to get a video done quickly. But that is big. I'll put it on the scales, let you know later. So there we go, we got there in the end, didn't we? Had to put in quite a lot of effort for very few fish. But the ones that I did get, they're so special to me, the carp from the river. And you know, that one actually went 21.7 pounds. So it wasn't quite as big as maybe I thought it was, but that's still quite a clonking carp for the river. And it's not about weight anyway. You saw it, all dark and gnarly, a classic mirror from the river. I'm not sure what I'll be fishing for next. I've still got that silverfish challenge in the back of my head. You know, either a roach or rudd, probably rudd. You know, like something that's £2 plus, or could we dream of a £3-pounder? Yeah, I really want to crack that if I can. So, you know, that might be on the agenda next. Or maybe a little bit of crankbait fishing. I've been doing a bit of that and having some success, and maybe I'll share that with you soon. But until the next video, look after yourselves and be lucky.